Welcome to our show. I'm Angela. Would you like to experience one of the best evidence-based wellness retreats? Join me at Pritikin Longevity Center in Miami. We interview top experts here.
I'm Dr. Anton. I'm an endocrinologist at the Pritikin Longevity Center in Doral, Florida.
Okay, so how do you enjoy working here?
I love working here. It's given me an incredible opportunity to create relationships with patients. We have so many guests that come back to us year after year to continue on their wellness journey and to continue learning about how their body works. So it's just been a really nice opportunity to have more time to educate patients and to see their incredible results.
Great. So what's your role here?
I'm an endocrinologist, so I primarily see patients that are struggling with diabetes or thyroid conditions, and oftentimes for obesity management as well.
Okay, so what kind of misconception about weight loss?
So I think that right now, especially because of all of the media attention on some of the newer medications that are available for weight loss, they're kind of pitting lifestyle and medications against each other, as opposed to seeing how these can work together. And I think that for many patients, they're thinking, if I choose the lifestyle route, then I cannot, use medication as a tool. And that is definitely a misconception. We can have these tools working together, the lifestyle and these medications, to really optimize patients' results.
Okay, so what kind of medications people usually use for weight loss?
So the ones that are very popular right now are the GLP-1 medications. These include things like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound. These medications really have incredible results in terms of the weight loss, representing about 15 to 20% of patients' body weight in terms of weight loss. So they're very effective tools. And in addition to that, many patients are using these as well for diabetes, which was their initial indication.
So what kind of result patient get from here or guests get from here?
From Pritikin in particular?
Yeah.
So I think that the biggest benefit is, number one, they will definitely see improvements in blood sugar numbers. We have a very healthy diet overall. So typically we'll see patients require a lot less medication, not only for diabetes management, but also for conditions like high blood pressure. We have a very low salt diet. And so that allows patients to very rapidly eliminate a lot of the extra water that their body's holding on to from the salt in the diet at home. And so we are able to remove many blood pressure medications right away. We also have a very low fat diet, and that allows patients to see incredible results very quickly in terms of improving their cholesterol panel.
Okay.
And so I would say that the most, touching ones really are the ones where patients are coming back, maybe a year after I've seen them, and they've been able to successfully continue with their Pritikin lifestyle, and that allows them to really live a much more just complete life. They're able to continue enjoying the things that they, maybe weren't able to enjoy for a long time because they just didn't have the energy to, or, maybe their weight was a barrier to certain things. And so they're coming back with significant weight loss many times, anywhere from 60 to 100 pounds I've seen for some guests. And those stories really move me because, you can see that this is going to allow for them to live a much fuller, healthier, and longer life.
So what is your vision in next 5 years? What would you like to see here?
What would I like to see here at Pritikin?
Yeah.
I think I would like to see individualized tracks, instead of just having a general guest experience, really creating an individual track depending on what the guest's underlying conditions are. So, for example, a patient with diabetes who's coming in would follow a diabetic track and really have personalized care with in terms of the dietary choices and all of that. A guest with high cholesterol or high blood pressure might experience the same, very individualized track instead of just a general wellness experience. I think it would also be incredible to have more of that continuity with patients after they've left. So maybe incorporating a telehealth component where we can check in from time to time, continue monitoring blood work remotely, and just allowing them to have that accountability with their doctor and continue that relationship outside of Pritikin.
Yeah, that's great. What are the challenges you think? Yeah.
Some of the challenges, I think it's difficult because we're catering to so many different type of guests. We have guests that are, anywhere from children all the way to elderly patients. Yeah. And so it's really trying to adapt the program to each individual.
Oh, I see. So what is your secret of aging well?
Oh my goodness. Definitely exercise is key. Maintaining an active lifestyle, that would be the most important thing, I believe. Of course, in addition to eating whole, nutritious food. If we are incorporating too much of that processed food into our diet, we're not going to feel our best, and it will definitely impact our longevity.
So about medications, would you like to elaborate more?
Sure, absolutely. So we're seeing many guests coming in on these medications. So we're seeing guests either on Ozempic or Mounjaro or any variation of these GLP-1 medications who are really struggling to understand how to best modify their lifestyle to really optimize their results on these medications. So I think that being here at Pritikin, it really allows them to understand a little bit more about how those medications are working in their body and some of the important things that we need to proactively do in order to optimize their results. So for example, protein intake is incredibly important. So we definitely strive to make sure that the patient understands how important the amounts of protein that they're getting are. That's the building block for our muscle mass. And so it's really important to take in enough of that protein, along with strength training. So we have the exercise physiologists here who are incredible at creating a workout program for each individual patient that really just emphasizes a little bit more of that strength training component in order to help retain muscle mass as we lose weight. We know that anytime that we are losing weight rapidly, whether it's through these medications or bariatric surgery or even diet and exercise alone, we know that you not only lose fat, you also lose muscle. So as we are trying to get rid of that fat, especially visceral fat, which we know is really a problem that increases our cardiovascular disease risk, we want to try to retain as much of that muscle mass as possible. And so I think that we really help guests understand that part a little bit better and really emphasize the need for that increased protein along with strength training.
Great. It's very comprehensive program here, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we have the benefit of working very closely, not only our medical department, which includes endocrinologists and cardiologists. We also have our behavioral therapists who can help kind of address any underlying maybe habits or a lot of our guests really rely on food as a comfort mechanism or for anxiety coping. And so our behavioral therapists are wonderful at helping guests address that a little bit more. We also work with the exercise physiologist, like I mentioned. We have physical therapy. We also have our incredible nutrition department who really helps to guide patients and really helps them to understand which meals are going to be best for them, substitutions that they can make once they get home, and really makes it something that they can take back with them. Creates a nutrition plan that they'll be able to adopt into their everyday life.
Great.
The Pritikin diet, I believe, is something that is truly sustainable in the long term. We don't want you to be doing yo-yo diets. We don't want you just, going up and down in weight because you're doing some radical dieting methods for a short period of time, and then you're just, once you stop, for example, a keto diet or, doing intermittent fasting. Some of these are not sustainable for many patients in the long term. So we really want you to adopt a lifestyle that is going to be something that you can carry with you for the rest of your life, and that will keep you healthy long term. So the Pritikin diet, I believe, is really ideal for that, maintaining low salt, low fat, and really trying to emphasize that importance of the protein, especially for guests that are on the GLP-1. So our goal here is going to be to give you those tools to allow you to carry this diet with you long term, as opposed to having you go up and down in weight, which we know is not beneficial in the long run. So we hopefully will be able to maintain slow and steady weight loss until you achieve your goal, whether that's through lifestyle alone with the diet and exercise changes, or whether we are incorporating in addition some tools like the GLP-1 medication.
So it's about long-lasting change.
Absolutely. So one of the other important things that I've noticed here at Pritikin is that because our program is already so low fat. And because we remove so many of those trigger foods, right, all of these ultra processed foods from the diet, patients that are on GLP-1s who might be prone to some of the side effects like nausea or abdominal discomfort, diarrhea, constipation that can develop, this diet really alleviates a lot of that. And it allows for patients to tolerate these medications much easier. And they are also doing themselves a world of good by doing the Pritikin diet.
It is very different.
Yes.
Although I'm in medical field for a long time, I feel it's so refreshed here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just really that focus on the whole food, the unrefined carbohydrates, the lean proteins, the plant-based proteins as well. So really incorporating all of these things together is what is the key of the Pritikin diet. For the world of diabetes in particular, which is my focus, the use of continuous glucose monitors has really exploded. And so these continuous glucose monitors allow us to monitor patients' blood sugars in real time. So not only are they able to really make modifications to their own diet because they can see, I'm having this particular food and my blood sugars are rising. So maybe I should avoid that one in the future. They also can share that with their provider, right? So they can come to me with the results of their continuous glucose monitor, and I can ask them right away, what did you have at this meal? What modifications can we make to improve your blood sugars overall? So it's just so much more information than we used to have, and again, allows for that real-time change just in the moment. And those behavioral modifications, because we might be used to eating particular foods, but when we're seeing in real time what they're doing to our body, maybe we'll make better choices next time.
Yeah, great. So how come there are so many returning guests?
So I believe it's very difficult to really stay on track and health focused 100% of the time when you have all the distractions of everyday life. You're going to have the stressors. You're going to have, the barriers and maybe the time restrictions that don't allow you to really, stay focused 100% of the time. And I think that by guests returning here from time to time, it just allows them to refocus, understand again the importance of their health. And, they again, every time that they come, will pick up some tools that will make them more successful when they get back home.
It's like a reset,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
I feel it's kind of like a family or community for them.
Absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
It definitely is. I've heard so many guests describe it almost like a camp feeling. They come here and they make new friendships, and many times they'll actually return with friends that they made during previous visits. And so it's very nice community as well.
Yeah, and I feel the medical professionals are very approachable.
Thank you.
Here as well.
Yeah, we definitely try to make ourselves as available as possible. We know that because of limitations in time outside of Pritikin, you might not always be able to ask all the questions that you have for your medical provider. And so hopefully here you'll have that opportunity to discuss things a little bit further, have your questions answered.
Yeah, and you have lunch turn and people can open, discuss with,
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have the lectures that are available where we discuss, medical topics or label reading and all these different things in order for guests to really understand their health a little bit better. And during those lectures, we, hopefully are able to answer a lot of individual questions, have it be more of a one-on-one conversation as opposed to just, speaking at you. We really want to be speaking with you.
Yeah, I found the education here is very easy to understand, and it's so easy to talk to medical professional, and the team is so I can feel they work together. You work together, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every day. So we are right across the hall from each other. So if we have any doubts or questions, or we want a little bit more in-depth explanations for a guest about their particular needs, we're able to just pull each other in. So it really is a great community.
And it's evidence-based.
Exactly. Everything is evidence-based. We're following the data. Pritikin has changed over the years because we are following the data that's coming out. So it really is nice to be in a place that's very encouraging of following the scientific literature.
That's great. So, and safety is very important here as well.
Absolutely. So before anybody enters our program, we do an exercise tolerance test that is, all it's going to be something supervised by a cardiologist. It really ensures the safety of the patient. We do the EKG along with the blood pressure monitoring regularly. So it just helps to make sure that the patient is really comfortable and having the best experience.
Yeah, I can see that. People feel very comfortable here. They usually have their blood pressure taken before exercise. So
Exactly.
it's great.
Yeah. So I would say the best encouragement is really, it comes from the self. So we can't, bring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can. Yeah.
And it's actually one of the most beautiful things about Pritikin, because everybody that's here has already gone through that stage of thinking about their health. They're not there as just part of an annual physical exam that they have to do or they have to complete. They're here because they want to work on their health. They want to learn more about their body, and they want to get to a better place. They want to feel better. And so that's really one of the best things about Pritikin, that the guest has already gotten to that place where they want to make these changes. And so it really facilitates our job here. And allows them to really absorb the most information.
Great. So, personally, what as a medical doctor, like as a mother with 4 kids, how do you keep yourself balanced life?
So I try to make it to the gym 2 to 3 times a week. That's kind of my mental, space and tranquility for the week. And I try to do my best at home. Like we talked about, there's always going to be barriers, especially with 4 small kids at home. They have their own palates that I'm trying to cater to as well. But really just trying to introduce always the healthy foods and have that foundation of what a healthy diet and, an active lifestyle is, I think is the best example I can give them.
Yeah. What kind of exercise do you like most?
I personally like to weightlift.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Great.
I focus mainly on weightlifting with a little bit of cardio.
Good, great,
Yeah.
great. So you are a very good role model for your kids.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what would you like to say to the future guest?
I would say welcome. We're very excited to, have you come and join us. I think this is a wonderful place where you not only, are allowed an opportunity to rest and relax, but also to understand a little bit more about your body, to, take back home with you, hopefully some really incredible tools that will keep you healthy in the long run.
What is your call of action or take-home message for us?
The take-home message: incorporate exercise and a healthy diet into your everyday life, and you will live a long, healthy, beautiful life.
So what else would you like to say before we finish?
We do have other services that we provide aside from our standard experience. We do have things like a body composition scan, which does allow us to monitor that muscle mass loss potentially a little bit closer, or muscle gaining, right? Ideally. We have the DEXA scan to look at bone density. So that's really incredible, especially for postmenopausal women who maybe haven't had an opportunity to have their bone density evaluated with a primary care provider before. And in addition to that, we also have the 3D Fit, which is our body composition, posture, and body measurement analysis, our resting metabolic rate analysis. So we do have all of these other different things, that we can add on to your experience to really make it very complete and individualized for you.
Incredible time at the Pritikin Longevity Center. I feel healthier and discovered so many ways to live a happy, longer life. This Miami resort is truly life-changing. Want to learn more? Check out their website. Thank you for watching. May you all forever young. See you next time.